Oh, I gotta put my headphones on for this one.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Fandom Empire live episode. I can't remember. I have no idea what episode it is. It's been 106 days. I think it's either 107. It might be 107. I don't know. A lot has happened in the last 7 days. Like too much.
I think we were on while you were on like every day since Monday or something.
It was bound to happen.
Lots of shit came out.
Too much. Like it wasn't just Halloween stuff. There's some Supernatural and Smallville stuff that we have not given nearly enough time to that we're going to talk about on this episode. We are talking Halloween too, people. Don't worry. Halloween Kills AMA. The guy in the bottom right's going to bow out for it, though. That's going to be probably the last 20, 25 minutes of the show, Halloween Kills AMA. We are going to talk about that little promo video that came out. And we're going to tell you if it's official or not. Should be pretty easy to figure out, though. We got some Patreon stuff to tell you about. We've revamped our Patreon system. Really looking forward to providing more over there for everybody. And then we'll let you know what's coming. But then I'm going to tease this. So this is an old Star Wars Wastelands photo. Oops.
Ouch. That was just painful to watch.
Yeah. The question is
what fucked up. It's still okay.
The question is what's on the back. We'll find out later. Some of you might already know.
It's the poster.
Maybe. What poster? They revealed that one already.
Oh yeah. So we never have to hear about that again?
Maybe. We're going to talk a little bit about TIFF. What's the latest we've heard on that? And so much more. If you want to support the channel and guarantee yourself to have your question and or comment read on air, feel free to send in a super chat and we will definitely read it. Even if it's making fun of Johnny or Tommy or Kieran or myself, we'll read it on air.
I'm going to object to that. Don't you fucking make fun of me. Fuck.
I
never bother any fucking one. Everyone always got to go after me and my motherfucking glasses and my motherfucking hair. Fuck.
I always say it on my show. I'm like, you say whatever you want. You could say fuck that guy and blah blah blah. And I go on, and nobody ever does it. And I kind of like just want someone to super chat in and be like, like fuck that guy in his squeaky voice, and I want to read it on air, but nobody does it.
Yeah. All right. I'll help here. Fuck that guy. That my hand can't move that way. That guy and that.
You don't know how to. I don't know how you guys don't get this right. It's just the opposite of regular. I will point towards this way, but when I do it, it points to Johnny. It's the opposite. Up is still up. It's not. I don't know how you guys don't get this.
It's not exactly hard. It's just sometimes it's disorienting when you're trying to point to the corners, because then you just want to be like, you're looking at the image and you just want to be like, yo, that guy. Wait, no, that's not right, because he's in the top left from where I'm at, but he's actually to my top right, because that's where I'd be pointing, not where he'd actually be.
I'm not even high yet. That looks like it.
Have you guys ever studied a mirror before? Like, do you guys look at yourself in the mirror in the morning?
Yes.
Sure. I look at myself in the mirror
every morning in the mirror, Kieran, so I could do my mantra where I just say, "Go fuck myself."
However, I will obviously say this: in the 33 years of my existence, my mirror has never turned into a quad box.
That's true, and I mean, it's still. I mean, still, when you point one way, it points the other way. I don't know. I guess I can even think of my brain. I can even think of it switching this way. So I don't know, but I'm too smart for you guys. So whatever.
Oh boy, it's been a hell of a week. So let's start off with this. And I'm not like grilling him here. I just think he's doing the impossible, and this is not going to end well. Is our boy Johnny there in the bottom right-hand corner is refusing to watch the new Halloween Kills trailer. The problem with that is there's 3+ months, and we know how all of you are in the chat. So good luck to you on that, Johnny. The Leafs might have a better... You might not watch the trailer, but someone's going to slip, and you're going to see something eventually. The Leafs have a better chance at winning the cup than you do of not seeing something.
I'm going to not see nothing. It may end up being like 75% ignoring the chat and 25% willful ignorance of reading anything that's actually important. But yeah, it'll just go in one ear and out the other when it does happen.
Frank says pretty soon there'll be all mods in the chat. No, Kieran needed another mod on his show, and so it made sense for his lovely wife to do that.
Yeah, let's be real. She threatened him to make him sleep on the couch if he didn't get her modded up.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Kieran didn't deny it though.
Let's dive
I
in.
I don't deny anything, because when people say things, it's more interesting than denying it.
Tommy B, how's it going, dude?
I mean, I've already said fuck on this show like what, 20 fucking times already? Up 21 maybe. I'm hanging in there, you know. It's been all right day. Happy to be back in this. Actually, I've already been back live since I've been back here, so that's all right. I'm hanging in there. It's been a busy news week, busy fandom week. Busy a lot of week. But
It has been just an insane amount of stuff has happened this week, and we're going to talk about a bunch of it this evening. I don't know how long tonight's show is going to go. We're just going to sort of go with the flow and see what happens. Johnny, how's it going, man?
Oh, it is going fantastic. You know, I made a slight tactical error in my time. I started binging the new season of 7 Deadly Sins a little bit late today, so I didn't get to finish it before we started. So I got like 4 episodes to go. I'm excited to finish it.
Sean doesn't know what that is.
He doesn't. That's okay.
No.
I know you do.
Our boy Mikey Bish says 4-hour show, and not tonight, not unless there's going to be a hell of a lot of super chat money coming in. So
Hey,
that's unlikely to happen.
when we get rid of Johnny, can we bring Michael in here?
Mike told me he's not available tonight, so I was hoping Mike would be available tonight because we actually had a different show plan until I remembered. Oh, right, Mike's usually not available on Tuesdays, so
We got a good staff here now, so
no, for sure. We got people wearing many different hats. Kieran, how's it going, man? Fresh off the Rick and Morty fan show, how'd that go?
yeah, actually we had a great show. We finally did the big giveaway show. It was so funny. So we've been building to this giveaway show since the start of the Rick and Morty fan show. We did a whole bunch of competitions. We did an art competition. We did like a recreate the pictures competition. We did like a bunch of fun stuff, competitions. And I kept saying to people, we're going to get all the winners of all the competitions in a draw, and we're going to draw it, give away a whole bunch of free stuff. And it was going to happen. And then all of a sudden we had this craziness that happened the previous week. And then we didn't have the show. And then we had it last show. It was awesome. Brought in some new fans, some people that end up watching our episode reaction video. So yeah, things are happening really great for the Rick and Morty fan show. So awesome. And we got a few people in here too that were on that show in the chat. So yeah, awesome. Everything's been great. And it was my last day. Well, I have to go back to school tomorrow, but no kids tomorrow. So yeah, I'm off work now too.
Good shit, man. Good shit. So this is what the show looks like for the rest of the evening. We're going to start with Smallville, move to Supernatural. Then we're going to talk a little bit about The Punisher 2004. And then, yes, we're going to do a fantasy matchup. And it's not going to be just, well, who would win? And you say one name. You got to give a reason why you think this person would win, and or thing or shape. We got The Punisher going up against the shape Michael Myers in a fantasy matchup. And we'll get the chat's opinion on who would win. And I have my opinion on who would win. And then after that, we'll dive into the Halloween kill stuff. Actually, we'll start with some Halloween kill stuff so we don't kill Johnny with spoilers here. You seen us tweet out that is Johnny muting us? Is that what he's doing?
No, I was unmuting you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you haven't heard anything for a while?
Why were we
I was
muted?
unmuting myself, not unmuting you.
Oh, well, you said unmuting you. So, alrighty.
I did unmute myself.
Anyway, this guy doesn't fucking remember what he says 2 seconds after he says it. You're that guy from that
Pot kettle, sir. Pot kettle, sir.
10-second Tom. Is that what it was? 10-second Tom in that movie?
Pot kettle, sir.
Oh, I remember much more than you do, apparently. Anyways, let's dive into this. That little promotional clip that we tweeted out, we got some back and forth from a couple of people, and and I don't mean to mock them. I just can't help but go into this voice where they're like, well, it must not be official. It's not on their Twitter or Instagram. And it's like, it wasn't an Instagram story, and it wasn't an Instagram post, and it's not a Twitter post, and it's not a Facebook post, and it's not a fucking TikTok post or a Reddit post or a carrier pigeon post. It was a sponsored ad by them. So when you're on Instagram, kind of like this, can't believe I got to show this here, but I want to give you guys an example. Oh, look at this beauty. I better not show that. She might not want me to. Our buddy Nick Push is going to be shown on air. Follow him on Instagram, by the way. You can click on someone's profile thing here. Oh, Nick doesn't have a story. But anyways, if you click on the picture there in the top right, this one right here, or top left, I guess, their story comes up. And when it goes from one story to another, there are sponsored ads that pop up in here. And the one that we've seen and shared earlier is, in fact, from the actual Halloween movie Instagram account, which is run by them. And we got, well, how dare you? That doesn't have a check mark. And it's like, stories and sponsors don't have check marks. That's not the way it works. And if you look at that thing, which I thought was kind of cool, it was really neatly put together. This is what I don't get. There's literal footage in that little 15-second clip that is not in the trailer. It's like, okay, I'm guessing, guys, that this was meant to be the lead up to what was supposed to be the trailer release on Thursday. Did any of you watch the clip, and does that make sense to you? If you've already paid for the sponsored ad and had it scheduled, then you're going to run it. So
it's still another way to build up, excitement. You have the long trailers, you have short trailers, you have ads, you have posters, you have billboards, you have all this stuff. If they weren't all effective, I don't think they would still be doing all these things. So it's just like when we do videos here, we do 5-minute videos and we have 4-hour streams because some people like to hang out with us, do all this stuff. And some people just want to hear the quick hits. And some of our fans come, when they hear news that they like, or like, hey, they're talking about this. I like this. Obviously, Halloween Kills is a big trigger. But some people want to hear me just say, fuck you, Johnny, for 4 hours. And they think it's fun. So in the same way, we got tiny little 15-second clips. It was cool. It was different. It was used up of a lot of footage, but it was cool. And it's going to be a constant little reminder out there showing you, remember it's coming out. Remember it's coming out. So for us who aren't, well, not us being me, but for those people who aren't really big into Halloween or just like, oh yeah, there's a Halloween movie coming out. It's for them. It's constant reminder, right?
Johnny, you didn't watch the trailer. I'm pretty sure you watched this one though. The little 15-second blurb that, people are either going nuts about or hating on. What did you think from the little bit you got to see, pardon me, in here?
I mean, it's a 15-second blurb. You don't really get to see and hear anything. Like, yes, there's things that, you say aren't part of the trailer, and that's fine. Obviously I haven't seen the trailer, so I have no idea, but it was perfectly fine because it whets the appetite. It gets you going. Like, I think you're absolutely right in saying that, this was pre-bought, prepaid for in preparation for, what was supposed to be the official release of the trailer, likely, this Thursday, which makes perfect sense because that's where you pipe the chains. And I bet you, I don't know, obviously I didn't see the official version of it. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've gotten, horror movie ads in my Instagram stories when I'm scrolling through them, but I didn't get this one specifically. But I'm sure if there was, originally would have been the, the swipe up for more, which probably would have taken you to a Blumhouse Halloween page, either, the official Instagram account or a full on, HTML website. Probably would have said, trailer this Thursday or something, catch the trailer ahead of, the Forever Purge, where it likely would have dropped. But now that's an unnecessary thing, so they obviously just change that, because at this point having a splash page that's to see the trailer, go see the Forever Purge is kind of silly, because it's out there. It's out there for whoever wants to see it. You don't have to go see the Forever Purge to see this trailer now, which some people would have done. So it makes perfect sense to do it this way. I've seen lots of movies have them, and like people who I will say this was very awkward listening to you mansplain Instagram stories off the top there. It's a little weird, but
it's amazing some of the hate that we got over that. Just
no, I mean, but you mean, you're absolutely right though. Like that's the problem. Like I actually just went through my own Instagram story while we were doing that just to see some of the different ads, and like Spotify doesn't have the check. Nobody has the check mark in the sponsored ad because it's sponsored. Like if you go to their profile, they'll have the check mark, but you don't, like, you've obviously never seen an Instagram and if you're like, oh, they don't have the check. Of course they don't have the check mark. If you're scrolling through your story and it's a Halloween account that doesn't have, like, I mean, obviously ours wouldn't have the check mark when you see it scrolling through. So I don't know if we posted it in the stories or not. If we're just,
I don't think I've ever posted a story on
okay, I don't know, but I mean, I'm
Facebook
sure
or
other
Instagram.
Instagram accounts for other Halloween fans at some point over the course of today have posted it in their stories. It's a safe bet. So you could still scroll across it in the stories and be like, oh, that doesn't have the check mark. It's not real.
Well,
But
to be honest, it hasn't gotten around very much, and I didn't see it myself. I had someone that wishes to remain anonymous reach out to me. They watch this show, and they're like, "Hey, man, have you seen this yet?" And I looked at it and I watched. I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Is it legit?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think." And I watched it over again, and he's like, "Yeah, no, definitely look at it. It's Halloween movie." I looked at the account. I'm like, yeah, no, it's legit. And the reason why it hasn't gotten many places yet, unless you've run into that sponsor ad or have seen us share, I believe, not that being first matters. It does help, though, on social media. I believe we were the first people to share it on Twitter out of any account, period, which is kind of cool. But it just hasn't gotten around much. And I don't necessarily blame Blumhouse or Universal for not, like, making it a Twitter post or an Instagram post or whatever, because, well, that, its intended purpose was defeated last week when dickhead movie theater manager goes and leaks the trailer, who, by the way, is still posting on Twitter and is now leaking other shit from other movies. Here's an idea, Universal. Get your shit together. He's not exactly hiding. Anyway.
I mean, I'd be more shocked that it's not on the official, Halloween movie Instagram at this point, because it was out, this morning. But I mean, I can understand. I guess I can understand that, because you don't want to take away the traffic from the spawn. You've paid for it. You're going to get your money's worth out of that ad, and they'll probably post it on the account, either tomorrow or the day after or something. But yeah, I mean, it's real. It's obviously real, but don't be stupid, people. And yet people are stupid.
Don't be stupid.
Oh, that's a deep pull.
You gotta pronounce it a little more. Stupid.
I love the fact that
Fucking stupid.
The chat has a American Horror Story conversation going on. Jade brought it up, and you got a bunch of people participating in it. And is it Celeste or Celeste, right?
Celeste, yeah, she won the new fan draw. So
that's cool.
Yeah, she won herself some mystery minis. These looking cool guys.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Okay, when you say mystery, does that mean she doesn't know what she won?
No, these ones are all opened. So I have the boxes for them. They'll go back in the boxes, but there are 6 different ones. In fact, she gets, I think, the entire. Oh no, I mentioned what they were up there, but 6 different ones.
So mystery solve minis.
Yes. Well, so I got donated all the prizes from Lance Livingstone. He's one of our Patreon subscribers. These are all his doubles. He has a huge he has a huge collection, and he had a shit ton of doubles. Sent them to me because he's just a fucking awesome person. So, and he said, "Hey, give these away on the show. It'll be fun." So we are.
So, Tommy, what do you think of that little promotional thing?
Whatever.
That's the most Tommy answer we could have gotten, I think.
You know, it's this little shit, like little quick spiel. You hear a little bit of talky talk over the little masky mask. You see some blips, then you see a flash to the firefighter scene, and then it's done.
I want. Yeah, pretty much. I love that. Good joke, Dean. Yeah, that pretty much is. I went and soaked my hair before because it was pretty much a fucking like huge lion's mane before I came on. So yeah, but loving it. I wish I could be anything Bret Hart. So I'll stick with that.
Is it the humidity?
But yeah, it could be a little bit. Yeah, it was definitely hot.
I made a big fucking mistake of wearing a fucking hoodie. I'm fucking getting ready to start stripping right now.
Is it wrong if I say?
Can we just make it the Tommy B show tonight? He's fucking more interesting than the three of us.
If Tommy starts stripping, I'm
right,
hoping.
Tommy, here you go.
Knock that fucking shit off. Knock that off.
I had to play into it a little bit, buddy.
Shit.
By the way, if you're new to the channel, yes, sometimes it takes us a half an hour to get into our main topics. I seen this post the other day of like a really old video of ours. It's like 3 or 4 months old. And the guy who posted it is like, they said this and they said that and yada. They completely misrepresented us, which I just found funny. And I think I joked around with Dean in the thread about it. And then they're just like, but they ramble on so long, so it takes them 30 minutes to get to the point. We're going to do a better job of time stamping things. You have our word. But yes, this is a live show. It's not a pre-produced video, so it's going to take us a half an hour at times. If we wanted to take 2 hours, it'll take 2 hours. You can choose if you want to be entertained and have some fun, or if you just want your 5-minute fix.
If you're not watching us live, just, scroll ahead. And it's not difficult to hit your arrow keys left and right to, go forward like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, depending on your settings. And then, just go back 5 seconds once you find we're talking about whatever. Like, it's so difficult on my fingers to skip past the boring incessantness of YouTube videos that just, it's awful, right? Who wants to listen to people talk about themselves when they could be talking about something else?
It's funny because, like with the pandemic going and all that crazy stuff, it looks like we're on our way out of it a little bit.
But now we got a major fucking heat wave to deal with.
Oh, wait a second. I put my head down. I lifted it up. And Tommy is sleeveless.
Oh.
You didn't notice the guy walk away and come back without a sweater?
I had my head down, man. I had my
I've already
down.
Oh, you're falling the fuck asleep on the show. I guess we all know how much our showrunner fucking cares, huh?
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
I've already
fuck
said
off.
several times, $100 super chat, I'll just take my shirt off.
I mean, that's legal. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. Nips might get us in trouble.
You think?
I'll do the whole show like this.
Nips gets you banned on Twitch, even on a dude. I don't know what YouTube
I'm
is.
sorry, what? Is that a burner account, Johnny?
That is not me.
Official Johnny Burner account. Wow.
I do have some burners, but that's not one of them.
Okay, so on the promotional ad, this isn't really a huge spoiler. We know that there's firefighters in the movie. But if you slow that shit down, Yes, there's firefighters in
I'm
the
sorry,
promotional
I feel
ad.
like that's like saying water is wet. There's literally a house on fire to start the movie, but there's going to be firefighters, guys.
If you look closely, though, you can actually see a firefighter full on spraying Michael with the hose. And I won't lie, for whatever reason, I don't remember that happening. Oh, Tommy's gone. He pieced. What the hell?
He's changing to his. He's changing.
I was expecting him to come back wearing something else now.
No, I froze.
Yeah, you get to see
Costume
Michael spray with
change.
the hose. So like, there's small little bits in that promo image that you don't see in the trailer. That's one of them. Another one's a shot of the hospital. I think you actually see the fire captain or whatever with the different color hat on. You see a few things. I mean, nothing groundbreaking. Although, I mean, hey, he's already gotten his fingers blown off, stuck on a wild burning house or in a wild burning house for who knows how long. Why not get sprayed with the hose too, right? So, dude,
A lot of people complain about the heat wave. What about Michael? What about the suffering that Michael went through in that house?
Yeah, I poked some fun at a basketball player today on Twitter. Although, in fairness, it probably wasn't a fair. Oh, hang on. I might have an update here, guys, on something big.
Oh god.
All right. So, while he looks that up, why don't we all just take our shirts off? No.
Yeah, we don't want to get ripped down. That wouldn't be very good.
I thought I thought that it was cool. I liked actually the way that they did it. They had the kind of going through the mask and had images flying by. It's definitely different than a lot of things that that you see. Like it was definitely different than just a regular spot that you see. And I did notice that the firefighters were different. Just out of memory, it looked like a different shot altogether when we got the firefighter being attacked. But it was cool. It doesn't give away much, and there's not, this is what I thought we were going to get. When we got a trailer with when we got the trailer, we got with a bunch of kills and a bunch of crazy stuff in it. I thought we were going to get quick hits like in this trailer, like quick flashes of scenes. But instead in the trailer, we got like full on, like showing us what's going to happen in the movie, which, we've already reviewed it to death, but this is more what I thought we'd get. So.
We seriously have an Allison in the chat pretending to be Allison.
You just noticing
fighting with Michael Myers in the chat.
You're just noticing this?
Welcome to Fandom Empire.
These are the types of burners I can get behind.
Toronto Freddy in the house. What's up, Fandom Maniacs? We'll touch on that in just a little bit.
It's hot.
It is hot.
It's so fucking hot. I had to take my hoodie off in my fucking central air apartment. Fuck.
Okay, that's a bit of a weird one.
I don't fucking sweat. You see me. I wear fucking hoodies in the middle of fucking summer inside the home. Fuck.
Okay. All right, let's dive into it, guys. Smallville. I believe it's the longest running comic book TV show of all time. It ran for 10 seasons. Live action, that is. I'm sure there's probably an animated show that's gone longer. I wonder if something's beat it. I know at one point it was the longest running. The three main stars for most of the series, anyway, were Tom Welling, Christian Kirk, and one Michael Rosenbaum. A couple of years ago, they joked, Michael Rosenbaum had Tom Welling on his podcast Inside of You, and they joked around, well, yeah, maybe we'll bring Smallville back one day as an animated thing. And they kind of joked around about, well, would we actually stay dedicated to it? Could we actually run it, sort of thing? And it just broke Friday, I think it was. We did a little video. I think it's around a couple hundred views. But we did get 4 or 5 Smallville fans on the channel now. So we're starting to build that up a little bit, which is cool. But basically, Tom Welling legitimately came out and said, yeah, no, Michael Rosenbaum and I are developing a Smallville animated continuation. And that they want to get back as much of the cast as they would like to. Anyways, obviously, I don't think Allison Mack's going to be back anytime soon. Well, I mean, let's be real here.
It's true. It's true. Nothing you're saying is not factually true.
Some people love Chloe. You know, I didn't mind Chloe in the later seasons. I found her annoying early on, but.
So my question is,
I remember
Sean,
thinking she
you're
was
the
cool.
only one I think here who checked out the source material of this. So what's the deal? Is
the source, like where it came from? It came literally
sure.
right
The
out of
original
Tom
where they
Welling's.
talked about this.
Came right out of Tom Welling's mouth both times. So
yeah, well, when Tom Welling talked about this, was it being presented in a way like they're preparing a pitch, or it's already been approved?
What we do know is they've already sat down. Michael Rosenbaum alluded to this today. It sounds like things are much further along than that. I don't think they're as far along as I've seen some site run. Well, maybe
They're not hiring animators yet and all that. But
I wouldn't know. I know some site put out there today that you could see a really short teaser of it at DC Fandom this year. I'm like, you might see it next year, and then the show come in like
way too early compared to what we were talking about like a week ago.
You got to work a couple years ahead of time. The question here is, Tommy, you've seen, I think, a couple seasons of Smallville, or you're working on it, and I know Kieran and Johnny have seen the whole thing. So let's go to Johnny first. Dude, one, can this work as an animated show? And two, are you interested in watching a continuation of this? That's the animated show. And there is no clarification, by the way, if this is just going to be Smallville season 11 and they're taking material from the graphic novels, but knowing Tom Welling, I think it's far more likely you see them pick up where we seen his character in Crisis on Infinite Earths than it is to recycle the graphic novel stuff. Anyway, Johnny, go ahead. Just thoughts on all of this.
I think it's more likely to be getting us to where he is on Crisis, because I think that's a big part of the story. Yeah.
Okay.
Like getting to him, giving up the powers to have the kids and all that kind of thing. Because I think that's a more interesting story. I mean, I love Tom Welling and I love this cast and the crew and everybody, but Superman with no powers is boring.
Oh, I completely disagree. As long as there's somebody else with powers involved, like if there go I don't even want to say it in case people haven't seen any of Superman and Lois yet.
It's kind of alluded to that. Mind you, I'm not in the same place in the whole universe, but that his giving up the powers thing is temporary, right?
Well, it depends what canons you're looking at, right? We can get 10,000 different Superman canons, but we're specifically focusing on Smallville, and all we know is it's implied he gave it up for his kids in that episode.
There's no clarification if it's a permanent give up, if it's something he could just...
I'm going to assume he's wearing just like a blue kryptonite ring.
That's what I was thinking. So it's like it's not so much of an irreversible change as like a social decision.
It would work, right? I'm just saying.
What I missed?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
All right, whatever. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's more of a social thing. He should be able to go back to being Superman if he so chooses, and the right circumstances might prompt that.
I do say, Johnny, it'd be kind of cool to see him get to that point, like at the end of season 1 or something. But again, do you you were a pretty big Smallville fan?
Oh yeah.
Are you okay with continuing Smallville in an animated form? Because obviously we know there's some personal reasons both Michael and Tom would like to continue it on that level than another level. But are you interested in it in that form?
I think it's. I mean, I love the idea. When I feel like if they were going to kind of pick up from where we saw them on Crisis, I think I'd rather that be live action, because it is, in the timeline there, and if they're doing it themselves, and I don't want to say small budgeting it, but smaller budget, because animation ain't cheap, unless you're doing cheap animation. So
there's another question. We'll let Kieran dive into that one, but like what's the animation going to be like? Because bad animation can turn people off a show, no matter if it's your favorite people coming back or not.
So I mean, I think if you're going the animated route, it's probably going to be, a continuation at some point from the end of season 10 to, where we saw them next in Crisis. I think, what did we get to in comics? Did we get to season 14 in comics?
They only ever called it season 11, but it was implied that more seasons would have
Well, I think they sort of broke it down, like it worked out to be up to 14 seasons, I think.
I've still only read 3 of the 6. I still need to read the other 3, so.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how many they put, but I think it'll kind of pick up after those and obviously before Crisis if you're going animated, because obviously, you can't age down the people without incurring heavy cost, and we've seen them in Crisis, or at least we've seen Tom in Crisis. So I love the guy, but he's not pulling off late 20s, early 30s Clark Kent. He's not doing that at this point.
I know who that is anyway.
That one I do know.
The first
I asked him. I sent a pic of it, and I'm like, okay, which one of you guys is that? And he's the only one who responded to that. But I mean, I think it's going to pick up somewhere in between. I think there is a story to tell after, but I think it's going to be the story that gets us to there. Because I think that's a much more interesting story. How does it build up to where Clark gives up his power? And quite honestly, I can't speak for anyone else, but I can speak for myself and say that if he's just wearing a blue kryptonite ring or something, that's just stupid.
Yeah, I don't. I think if we're gonna have the it's because it's only a 4-minute clip in Crisis. If they want to not follow that at all, they can not follow that at all. And this is gonna have to be really bad to not get picked up. Like really bad, because there's just too many different places that they can air this on. CW, HBO Max, and the streaming services are always dying for content. My only hope, though, dude, is that as much as I love Smallville, do what Rick and Morty do. Just give us 10 episodes. Don't fucking try to push out 22 episodes and rush everything and have the quality be worse. I'd rather have 10 high quality, 30-minute animation episodes than fucking 22 worn down pieces of shit. I used to, when I was younger, I wanted more. Quantity. Fuck quantity. Just give me something good. If it only lasts 2 or 3 seasons, so what? It'd still be fun.
I think you're looking at something that's more in the frame of the Harley Quinn animated series. That's 13 episode seasons. That's 13 episode seasons.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if I'm about to scoop Mike here, but apparently this is I'm going to treat this as rumor, but those of you that know Dark Universe, this is coming from them. It's a unpublished story at this point, but I am allowed to talk about it. And this would not affect the theatrical run. But apparently Netflix and Universal are in discussions over Halloween Kills. Again, this wouldn't be before the theatrical run, but I think Halloween 2018 is up on Netflix. So that would be
across your land, in your realm.
Okay. Well, I knew it was somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's not here. I think 2018 was on Shudder.
We had a super chat, guys. We're having an issue finding it here. Oh, there it is. Our boy, Matty Whitfield. I want to see Tommy shirtless. The eyebrow raise.
Well, we all want a lot of things, don't we?
Kieran, you're kind of the cartoon guy here. I'm not saying Johnny doesn't watch it or Tommy doesn't watch it, but I know you. I don't know how you felt about Smallville. Really, we haven't talked about it much, but does this interest you at all?
I mean, well, you know what they say. You got to strike while the iron is cold as a Yeti's vagina. I don't understand why we're getting this far away. I'm actually not interested at all.
Oh.
I like Smallville quite a bit. I've gone back and watched it. I've been through the season twice.
Can you say the first part again?
I'm not interested at all. Zero. Honestly, like I'm so far removed from this. Like it's just not. It's not something I care about now. Like the iron is cold. It's I don't understand why I would get this. Now, I wasn't like I don't think I'm as big a Smallville fan as you are because, I've heard you talk about it a lot, but I did go through the whole season twice. I do have all of the seasons on DVD. Like, I went pretty far into the show. I liked it. It's a great show. I thought it was fantastic. And even some of the seasons that people were kind of iffy about, like I still liked. And so I have no reason to not want to watch this except for that, like, it's just too late. Like, it's just too, like, I have other things I need to watch. There's still a ton of things that I need to watch that I want to watch that I just haven't gotten around to. And Smallville animated way later on is not, it's going to be near the bottom of that list. I do agree that the animation is going to be really key. It's going to have to be something that's interesting. It's going to have a look. It's got to have a look that appeals to an older generation because Smallville fans are old, like we are. We're old.
You called yourself old.
Get over it.
Hey, you're old.
You see, like, even on camera, you can see the fucking grays in this beard. I got more fucking grays than Bret Hart has, I think.
Shit.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think you're insane.
This is great.
No. Yeah, I've seen recent Bret Hart, but yeah, I'm honestly, it's not the right timing for me. I feel like I got way too much shit to watch.
I mean, I would have been even more excited about it if this was 5 years ago.
It could have been 2, 3, even 4 years after, but
I just
way
don't
after.
Tom and Michael were in a place where they even wanted to entertain that then, and now they are. I think that you're right about the animation style. I honestly think that, like, I can't see this getting a big budget. So give us less episodes and make sure they're quality. That'd be my advice, or it's going to be one and done. So,
we don't got all day to talk about this, but I want to do a quick little back and forth about this real quick.
Okay.
What does it mean, animation style, to appeal to, an older audience? Can you explain that a little bit more?
Do you remember how Dragon Ball Z used to look like?
Yes.
Do you know how Dragon Ball Z looks now?
Yes.
That's basically, I think, the point he's getting at.
So, are we talking like just
Rugrats?
Or are we talking like uncut?
Now. There's just this terrible CG look to a lot of animation now that's because it is CG, but like, just especially with the face, like, it's just not cool. Like, for example, has anybody seen the trailer for Masters of the Universe? The Kevin Smith relaunch?
I have, but I don't remember what it looked like.
It looks old school, the way people want it. And while there's no reference point for Smallville, I think it would be an old school look to it. I can't see them doing the new school look. So
okay, I can understand. I mean, I'm someone who goes back and watches 90s anime, 2000 early 2000s animes from time to time. I like old stuff. I like new stuff. If the story's good, I tend to jive with it, but I guess that's the minority opinion on this panel. So,
animation before used to have everything in proportions and things looked the way those, if you watch G.I. Joes or any of those, X-Men, old X-Men shows, things were not always supposed to be in proportions. The heads were usually slightly bigger, but that was just that was just the style. But like, everything was supposed to look like a normal human would be. In animation today, things are almost never in the right proportion. Things are usually cartoony, and even if you get like a show kind of like Harley Quinn, characters are still very bulky. They don't look like they should be, like regular human beings. Now, when it comes to superheroes, like, people are in peak human, like they're obviously supposed to be super fit, but That's the way that. Well, actually, this is a perfect. This when you look at the original Teen Titans animated versus Teen Titans Go, a lot of things are going the kind of Teen Titans Go type of way of doing things, and that's kind of a cutesy animation thing. I like both those shows, so I have nothing bad to say about either of them. But
say that I totally agree with that view, but I don't know if I agree with that example.
I think I was trying to say that example is wrong because the feeling of the shows are two completely different things. Teen Titans Go is meant to be for the kids. Like it's meant to be for the junior watchers.
Yeah,
the preschool and low elementary school kids. It's not meant for
Teen Titans, the OG series. We were watching that when we were my gen when we were pre-teens or teens, and that was
So I mean, it's not the same. I mean, I think Sean hit it properly when he commented on like the Rugrats example. If you look at an episode of Rugrats OG from 94, 95, compare that to an episode of the present day reimagination or whatever.
Time out. I'm sorry. Have any of you guys seen the new Rugrats?
Yes, unfortunately, I have seen. I haven't seen an episode, but I've seen. I've seen images from it because they're
well, then you haven't seen it then.
Images can definitely show you the garbage of what it is. I saw a trailer for it too.
Oh, the show quality is still very much the same. It very much feels.
It's the look style is different.
But there's not all the characters are the same. There's definitely some different choices which make you more friendly to the year 2021 is all I'll say.
I think they're just saying more things that they couldn't say in the early 90s.
Oh no. Some characters are legitimately flat out different. For example, the Phil and Lil's mom is now a lesbian.
I think she always was. She
was always a lesbian. Always.
I've heard this already.
So are you saying she was cheating on the hubby? How dare you say that?
I'm saying
Sean,
I have a
friend. I have a friend from high school, and both his parents turned out to be gay. So that does, just because you're married doesn't mean you're not gay.
No, I'm aware. Having some fun. Okay. But the grandpa is a fucking stoner. Not that that's a bad thing.
Again, I look at that family tree, dude. I think he always was.
He literally talks about doing shrooms.
I'm pretty sure he used to talk about a whole bunch of drugs.
Like that back in the day.
And his voice now is like all fucking stoner, mellow out. He's all just like, "Come with me into the garden."
I think they could just be more blatant about things.
War stories and I think
they just be more blatant about things that as a kid we didn't notice these things, but being a teenager watching like the reruns, you kind of like, wait a minute.
It's not that though, dude. Because in the first fucking, you might be right on the. I'm
just pointing out the examples you're picking on.
But the grandpa in the first one was, or in the original series, he'd be like, "Well, back in my day," and it very much. But now it's all like
everything took 15 years.
Yeah.
As I grew up, I always saw him and thought
miles away.
As I grew up, I looked at him I'd watch some episodes, as a teenager, coming on. They'd be on in the afternoon, the early evening on like YTV up here, and it's you keep them on because you'd watch like Dragon Ball Z or something beforehand, and that's what's on next. And it's like, you see it and you'll be like, holy crap, he's a stoner. Like he is he's a burnout. Like you can see those things as you get older.
Shirt now too, just fucking going right into the stereotype. Oh man. Anyway, I didn't mind it. Jensen loved it. And I'm like, great. Oh, they also implied he was going to have an orgy too. That happened in the episode.
Again, I can believe that.
You see, that's so interesting because we so often say, well, this wouldn't fly for TV in 2020, 2021. Like a good example. Dragon Ball Master Roshi. Master Roshi could not be the perv that he is.
You know how much of his shit got cut out?
Grandpa from Sailor Moon could not be the perv that he is.
I don't remember the grandpa from Sailor Moon, but I remember the killer theme song from Sailor Moon.
I mean, that was those shows were not made in they were made in Japan, so I don't know what they're allowed to do over there now.
But they would not more questionable things here the way they did if it was like that on TV. Now maybe straight to streaming. Yeah, there would be no problem. No problem at all.
That theme song is still stuck in my head 25 years later, Freddie.
All right, we gotta pick up the pace a bit here, boys. We'll touch on Supernatural briefly, but we might have to come back to it more on Thursday. Supernatural is getting a third spin-off attempt. Let's be honest, the second one should have been picked up, and basically it was the studio going, well, if Jensen and Jared aren't involved, we aren't doing it. And then Jensen and Jared got pissed that they didn't do it, and some drama started. But anyways, Jensen Ackles and his wife Danelle are bringing back Supernatural, this time the Winchesters, to tell you the true love story between John and Mary Winchester. It'll still be a show about hunting demons and kicking ass, and one would think Baby has to be in the show at some point too, so that's cool. I'll watch Baby on the screen. But you might be asking, what story is there left to tell there? And the rumor going around, I don't know if there's truth to it or not, but the rumor going around is that God, and Chuck and how much he interfered in things and with the angels, actually changed what the Winchester story was supposed to be. Still was going to be hunters, still we're going to have Sam and Dean, but they sort of forced John and Mary together quicker. John was not a hunter, and my guess is in the show they're both probably going to be hunters. Tommy, you didn't talk too much on the last topic. Where are you with this, and do you think it gets picked up?
So, as we know, this show has already had a bit of controversy. A bit.
Yeah, that's because two supposedly close individuals can't find a way to communicate in private. Yeah.
Hey, I've said my part about close relationships that we like to perceive in the past. That's a whole nother topic for another time. I'm very split because something like this totally upends, or has the potential at least to upend the Supernatural canon as we know it. Do they want to do something where like Jack rewrites the story? Is it something?
I think that's basically what they're doing.
Is it something like Chuck rewrites the story and it like gets retroactively changed, or just unwritten? I don't know what the fuck the right word is. And John could have had a role earlier. He could have, if the whole Men of Letter things worked out the way it should have. Mary could have had a role. I'm trying to remember. Did Mary lose her memory? No.
She forgot certain events, yes.
Actually, yes. Before death, she did not have memory anymore of demons and all that.
In which death are we talking about?
Death,
Mary
right?
died a lot of times, dude.
Death in the house. Death in the house.
Mary wasn't sure that she was... Mary couldn't remember that she made a deal at the time of her death.
But she did remember that her father was a hunter. She was a hunter and all that.
I believe so, yes. I
think she did now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. So
it's kind of left ambiguous.
There are all these different things that come into play. And on one end of things, they could do this without significantly impacting Supernatural as we know it. But on the other end, it could really fuck some shit up and create more plot holes than the show already has. And I feel like for the hardcore fans, that's going to piss them off to a certain extent. On the other end, they don't need to do this shit for the fans. They can do this shit just for themselves.
Dollar bills.
And no matter what, it's the kind of show that I think people are going to watch. Now, is it going to fly? Is it going to be anywhere near as popular as Supernatural? Absolutely not. Supernatural lasted for 15 seasons. There's nothing that's ever going to make as big a splash as that could have. Wayward Sisters would have never have lasted that long. It might have gone on for 3, maybe 5 seasons. That's just me throwing a random guess out there.
I could see that. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be a 15-year show by any means. But do you think it'll get picked up?
Picked up by who? CW.
It has to be the CW.
CW hasn't really shown real fucking positivity towards picking shows up, but the way things are sounding, it sounds like it's already kind of there, doesn't it?
It does kind of sound like there's already
Some kind of deep
deal in place.
conversation going on.
Johnny, your thoughts on the whole thing? I haven't heard anything from you about any of this, and ultimately, does it get picked up?
I mean, that's because we haven't talked about it at any point since it happened.
Well, we'll have for those that do really like Supernatural in this chat, and I do know there's a few of yous. I think we should really dive into this deeply in the next episode of Wastelands.
Yeah, I think it's a safe thing to say. But I think for me, I think we have sort of a jumping off point already installed with the creation of Apocalypse World, and that there are alternate worlds out there where the events are not the same as the events of Earth Prime. And of course, Chuck himself talks about failed Earths and failed stories, and how many times he's meddled in the story and changed the story to get the story he wants to have the most fun with. So I think the building blocks are already there to have a John and Mary story where they can both be hunters, where they can both chase the bad guy of the week, and whether that puts them in the Men of Letters or something else altogether, who knows. But it's going to be an interesting thing, like having Jensen involved. I think, okay, that's great, but it all comes down to what comes next. Who's your cast? Is this young John and Mary that we've seen before, or is this new people altogether? Is this, what universe, what world does this take place in? These are things that have to be explained, because let's be real, the Supernatural fan base, they're not just going to swallow whatever you throw at them.
And you've already pissed them off. Jensen and Jared have just both inadvertently pissed everybody off in the last week. So,
to a degree, I mean, I think them, making peace at the end of it, it was weird, what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm watching it from the outside, and I'm seeing it, one night, and then the next day, it's like, what the hell's going on here? Because it happened so fast. It was one 24-hour news cycle. From the time it started to the time it was everybody makes peace except the producer. So I don't know. I think there's still more to this, but what more there is, I have no idea. But I don't think we'll ever know that, because I still, obviously I think Jared and Jensen, they've made their peace. I don't think the beef was with them so much as it is. Like, I think it's more of a, you should have called me.
Jensen's the showrunner, so I don't know about that one.
I think it's more of a, you should have told me about this yourself. I shouldn't learn about this on Twitter, because it is the two of them.
Sure. But they also should have dealt with that privately instead of fucking I watched the Supernatural fan base become the Star Wars fan base after The Last Jedi in literal minutes. It was crazy what was happening. I'm just like, oh my God. So it's not just a Last Jedi thing. It's not just a Star Wars thing. These things happen.
I mean, that's fan bases though, where there are, clear divides. There are Sams and there are Deans, and the Sams are going to side with Jensen and the Deans are going to side with Jared. I realized I just flipped those two. But, obviously, the Sams are going to go with Sam, the Deans are going to go with Dean, and the fan base will be divided down that parlance, because there are a lot of people who are one or the other. Yes, there's a large chunk that's, I think the Star Wars fan base is a fair comparable, because, you've had your prequel fans, your sequel fans, your original trilogy fans, and then there's the people who just love everything. So, I don't know. I think we've seen all we're going to see.
Think the drama's done. Now it's just the question of, does it get picked up or not? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know, because the CW has shown a willingness to buy in if they think there's something. Obviously, Supernatural is, one of their tentpole franchises.
Sorry, before you go on, you sort of hinted at it, and I totally forgot to mention it. Jensen would be reprising his role as Dean Winchester in this, and he's the one telling you this story, almost like How I Met Your Mother style, but in supernatural. And hey, I love Jensen, I love Jared, I love Dean, I love Sam, but I'm more of a Dean guy. I just always have been. And I think if fans had to choose, like if you had a vote on the fan base, if only one of them could be the narrator for the show, I'd choose Dean.
You would, and so would 49 other percent of the fan base, and then the other 50% would choose Sam, because that's just, you know, it sparked right down the middle. And, you know, it is what it is, you know, like it just.
I think if it's not terrible, it's basically guaranteed to get picked up. They just signed a deal. I think it's 5 years with, I can't remember the name of Jensen and Donnell's company. It's something weird. But because it's them that are the showrunners, because it's their production company too, it's going to have to be pretty terrible to not be picked up. It'll never be supernatural, but it could be a fun callback. Kieran, we haven't heard from you in a long time. I can't remember if you've seen much of Supernatural or not, but just knowing a show that went 15 years and has already had 2 spinoff ideas, one which was just horrible, both of them turned down. How do you see this going?
I don't know. I have seen half of season 1. I don't know anything of the pitch ideas because
Johnny, are you getting...
honestly?
Yeah, it is not good.
Yeah, you got some massive breakout going on your end, like massive static. Here, let me remove you and re-add you for a second. All right, try now.
Oh, I don't know. I did. It was me just saying, ah.
No, your mic's popping. It's your mic.
Yeah, it's.
Move it away from your mouth a bit.
All right.
Okay,
It's
now
because
try.
I'm too loud. Is it because I'm too
No.
loud?
Because it's still happening. I think it might be like a loose connector or something somewhere.
Yeah, try replugging in your not your XLR. Yours is an XLR. The thing on the bottom of your mic, the cord. Yes, right there.
You're muted. No, you're not. I couldn't hear anything there.
All
Try
right.
now.
Now. No.
Yeah.
No.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
Okay. Cool. I saw season 1, and I don't know. It's a good show, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't have a lot of input when it comes to Supernatural. I mean, if it's a show that went 15 seasons, then I'm sure like a lot of things have a likelihood of being picked up because you have a really, really good sample size of success. So, I mean, I mean, it's got a longer success rate than Smallville, and I assume that it has a better chance of getting picked up than the Smallville animated. So
Your mic's doing that thing again too.
Yeah, I think there's a
Before
short
I,
in it somewhere.
Yeah.
Before I had to step out to go, and
Are you all right? By the way, I seen the.
we had a brown recluse spider apparently.
What's that?
Literally, or it was identified as such,
figuratively.
and you
So
were
we're pretty
called to
sure they're
respond.
native to the area. We've heard about them in the area before, and yeah, she didn't want to leave the chance, so I helped her get rid of it. Yeah, I yeeted it outside the back door. Anyway,
I honestly, I thought you were too far northeast for that.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so before I had to step out, Johnny, you brought up a very good point. The whole apocalypse world, the whole multi-universe sort of thing. I feel like that's a plot hole that's just waiting to fucking happen with this type of show. Like, we could go the whole fucking show and like never get an answer if this is the, as you like to say, Sean, our Sam and Dean's world or our Earth. We could go the whole fucking show wondering if this is it. And I'm not saying they ever have to give us an answer. It could be left up to speculation. But That's just a question just waiting to get asked prior to the show releasing, during the show, even after, if it's never confirmed or denied.
You know what I hope happens? Old school style. The Supernatural spinoff and the Smallville reboot air on the same night. Not that I have cable.
I
doesn't
think
matter,
there
but-
is about a 0% chance of Smallville being picked up by the CW so long as Superman and Lois is still on the air.
Well, apparently there's already something in agreement, so it could be HBO Max.
I was going to say, what network would you want to see it on?
I think it would be HBO Max and probably Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, or whatever.
I guess that Adult Swim would probably be the more likely candidate, but what do I know?
All right, let's move on here, guys. Sadly, we've eaten up a bunch of time already, so here we go. Punisher 2004. Tommy hasn't seen it. Johnny hasn't seen it in 5 years. We'll start with Kieran.
You just want my view of the movie?
Yeah, thoughts on the movie for sure. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely love the movie. I thought it was great. I remember seeing it in theaters. I clearly remember seeing it in theaters because I was a big fan. I think I saw it 3 or 4 times in theaters. It's a great revenge movie. I mean, Thomas Jane was very good as a Punisher. He's my favorite Punisher. I do really like the Netflix John Bernthal Punisher as well. So I guess that's kind of be interesting to have a conversation about who did it better. But I did really like this movie. I love especially the epic fight with Kevin Nash. The Russian character I thought was great. Having it play in the back with the opera music was fantastic. It had a lot of heart in it too. You know, Thomas Jane was able to, even though he was being cold and distant a lot of the time, he was able to show a lot of emotion, which was great. And I mean, John Travolta as a bad guy in this movie was. I mean, there was nothing wrong with him, but you think that he would be more memorable, and he really isn't. He really isn't that great.
He's a rich snob, basically.
Yeah, but he's not really a great bad guy in this movie. However, I mean, you got a few assassins that come after him, and yeah, no, I really liked the movie. I thought it was great, and I think people will be surprised with my answer later on in the fantasy matchup. So,
Johnny, what do you remember from this film?
I mean, I think honestly, it's most of the things Kieran pointed out. You know, there's a lot of things that stand out, but you know, his fight with Kevin Nash as the Russian it's the one that stands out. You know, because there's not just the real world time. Obviously, I remember being a pro wrestling fan at the time, and he goes through the feud to lose the hand. That was a big deal at the time because he always had the long flowing locks, and it touched the real world for me as well as the actual movie. But I enjoyed it. I loved everything about it because I was a Punisher fan of the comics. I didn't read a lot of them at the time because he was I don't want to say above my age group, but he was on that higher tier, being that he was more of the he was the adult superhero. I don't even want to say superhero, anti-hero. But he wasn't a character I read a lot of, but I started reading more of him at that point because it hit me in that age group with 2002. So I enjoyed the character. I liked the story. I liked the the action and the things that went on in the film, and of course the presentation of the characters. I think Jane obviously was the best live action Punisher until John Bernthal came around and took the character. And I don't even know if he's not better, but it was a good portrayal of a good character that I enjoyed, and I actually liked Travolta as the villain because it felt kind of different to what I was used to. Like Travolta is traditionally the good guy. He's the hero. He's the he's the dancing guy, sings songs, and it was so different for him to be in that character, in that role, that I really enjoyed it a lot.
It's one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. I think it's fantastic. I think Thomas Jane's the best Punisher. I love John Bernthal though too. I think Bernthal's great. And no, I don't really have love for Dolph. I really kind of don't like Dolph. So, he I don't know. Not as the Punisher. No way.
Wait, are we
as the
talking
Punisher? But as
Yeah,
the
as the
Punisher, can you guys hear me? Actually, you guys can hear me now, right? Okay. As the Punisher, it's not his fault, but that movie is a low budget, a low budget, it's a comedy. When you watch it now, it's a comedy. It was not meant to be a comedy, but when you watch the old Punisher movie, it's just fucking funny. It's just there's one part where Dolph Lundgren Punisher is walking down a hallway, and then I don't know if he senses something or not, but he takes his knife and he jabs it into a wall, one of those Japanese paper wooden-looking walls in a dojo or in a whatever. And when he does that, a man falls through the wall. So that means that when he stabbed the wall with a knife with a blade maybe this long, that means a man was facing the wall like this on the other side, staring at a wall like he was on timeout or something like that. It makes no fucking sense. He hangs a guy with a shoelace from the ceiling, and the guy just walks in. He just lowers the loop down, and the guy walks right into the loop and then gets hung. Like, the movie is just a fucking joke. It's not Dolph Lundgren's fault. I like a lot of Dolph Lundgren movies, but that movie was a fucking abomination that just turned into a comedy.
Our boy Wayne Gotke in the chat. Oh shit! I thought Kieran was about to say that the 1991 Punisher was a cult classic.
Wait,
you know what? You know what
91?
would have happened then? It would have been God.
What Punisher are we talking about? 91? If we're talking the Dolph Lundgren movie, it was in the 80s, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was, but I don't know. Dolph
was
Lundgren
wondering,
with
like, what-
black hair is weird too. Black hair is weird for him.
I just wanted to chime in real quick.
89.
So 89.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 89. So I just went back and checked out the plot of the 04 movie, and I have seen this before. It was a long time ago, and I've literally seen it like once. I can't give a really good, accurate, thoughts on it because I haven't seen it in so long. But I will say that the plot of the film, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Prior to seeing it, I didn't really know much about the Punisher. Didn't read any of the comic books, rather.
Hang on,
And
you're talking about the Dolph Lundgren one?
What's that?
No, he said 2004.
Oh, so you did watch that today?
No, not today. I'm saying I did see it once, but it was a long
Oh.
time ago.
I thought you hadn't seen it.
I just went back and checked out the plot. I'm like, wait, I've fucking seen this before. I thought I saw this before, but no, I haven't seen the other film. If there were other films beyond it, didn't read the comics, but yeah, the story of the Punisher, Frank Castle, pretty fucking cool. Something that's definitely worth revisiting at some point.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love that movie so much. It's great. Did all of us give our little bit on that? I think we did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's fantasy matchup time, but before then, I want to take a second to piss some people off. I want to plug the fact that we are expanding our Patreon program. Those of you that subscribe to our Patreon, depending on what tier that might be, have seen a lot go up lately. And we thank you for your support of the channel. It really does mean a lot. I just want to take a second, though. I can figure out how to work this on my phone. I want to take a second to plug our tiers. For those of you that maybe one of the chat mods or one of you guys that know the link could throw it in the chat, that'd be great. So you can support us on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. And that gets your name in the I'm trying to do this off the top of my head because it's not actually showing me. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. No, it's not working. All right. Anyway,
So you get a picture of Tommy shirtless. You get.
I'm trying to pull it up here on my PC just to make it easier. I need multi screens. I mean, I have them; they're just not plugged in. All right, here we go. So we've renamed a bunch of them. You see new graphics up. The $2 tier, which is $2 by the way, is the Fandom Empire basic tier. You get your name at the beginning and ending of each video. You get some updates and short videos, and you get access to Kieran Presents once a month. It's Kieran's show about what, Kieran?
Whatever I feel like.
Good description.
No, last time I did a Leprechaun video just because I talk about Leprechaun all the time and I needed people to know what the fuck I was, my actual thoughts about it were. The next one is either going to be about the X-Men animated series, the DC animated release movies that are like 75-minute movies, or what was the third option? I had another idea. But I'm going to let the Patreon subscribers pick which one I'm going to do.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah. So basically, I'll give a couple of things that I would like to do, and then I'll ask Toronto Freddy and a few other Patreon supporters what they would like to see, and I'll put it together for them.
We also have the $3 tier, which is Fandom Empire Deluxe tier. It gets you everything from perk 1. It also gets you access to the Fandom Empire Underground episode once a month, which is a Patreon show we do, and we literally talk about anything and everything. There's no limits on that one. It gets you access to RIPC, which is the rated R version of the IPC podcast, which airs, I believe, once a month. Zach said they just did a review of Quiet Place 2. So if you have our Patreon, you might have seen it already. The $5 tier is the return of the Fandom Cantina. Everything from tiers 1 and 2, bi-weekly, the Fandom Cantina podcast, heavily rumored based, live video from the Fandom Empire Now podcast that Mike and I launched last week, and a little bit of behind the scenes stuff on what's going to be going on with the Haddonfield Slayer in about 6 or 7 weeks or so. So that's going to be exciting. We have the Empire tier, which is our $10 tier. Everything from the previous ones, an exclusive Star Wars video each month, on-air shout-out, and early access to everything. Thank you, chat mods, by the way. You guys are doing great. Yeah, so good stuff. And then we have our Lambkin Lane tier. You guys know what that is. It's our exclusive Halloween show. But we've added to give away some stuff here. Well, not give away because you're paying for it, but the Fandom Maniacs tier, we've already had a few people upgrade to. That's $20 a month to get everything from the previous tiers. Fandom Maniacs Messenger Chat, Fandom Maniacs Discord Room, which our boy Ian's taking care of. I don't know if he's done it yet or not, but we have talked about it. A movie review of your choosing. So whether it's me or Tommy or Kieran or anybody, Johnny, at the channel, if there's a movie that you want us to review, maybe we've seen it, maybe we haven't, we will do a short pre-produced video of that movie of your choosing, and you can choose up to one of those a month. And after a year on that tier, we have a cool Fandom Maniacs t-shirt. It's more like a softball jersey than a t-shirt that'll go out, and we're also going to do a monthly draw. And then the ultimate one, which we're going to have some fun with here, boys, I showed it in a private chat, is the, by the way, shout out to Toronto Freddy for naming these. But Fandom Maniacs and Fandom Addicts are two of the things we're using going forward. And he sort of coined both of them. I think Frank might have had some input on one. But here it is. Let me get rid of Toronto Freddy's thing there. What do you guys think of this image? The image for our Fandom Addicts Patreon tier, which is the highest one that we offer, which is going to give you a ton that we're going to tell you about in a second.
It's certainly original.
It's very fitting for the show. Have you guys seen all the details yet? Or is this your first time seeing the details?
I've seen it already. It's just it still hits home.
Man,
There's a lot
everyone-
going on here.
everyone is always smoking in all of our thumbnails.
Oh man, I love it.
Like, does someone?
Guess I'll just go fuck myself. What were you gonna say, Kieran?
Oh, I was just saying, like, everyone's always smoking. Like, if someone who like doesn't, like click on all our stuff, like, they're just gonna think that we just talk about getting high or something like that. Like, we just get high and watch Halloween movies is probably what they think.
I mean, I don't know. That sounds like 90% of any watch along Sean's ever done on the channel.
We don't do a ton of those, though. We haven't done a ton of watch-alongs.
You know what comes to my mind now? You know what comes to my fucking mind?
What's that?
In Scary Movie 1, I believe the Ghostface parody smokes a fucking blunt.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yes,
sure.
he does.
For
And
sure.
then he raps.
No, he doesn't smoke a blunt. He takes a rip on a bong.
Oh.
Yeah. Same difference, but
Yeah.
it's being more specific.
How about the Halloween Kills poster, which met its fatal end somewhat conveniently one day before the official Halloween Kills poster came out on the last episode of Wastelands, where Johnny and I were outroing, and I was just like, I don't know, I was too high. I ripped the poster. I don't know why. But there it is, making a cameo, along with Frank Riker's hot tub. Frank's hot tub is in there.
I don't think Frank's hot tub comes equipped with a woman in a bikini.
Yeah, Aaron, I
Ooh,
get
that's
where
kind
you're
of a
going with that. I
burn.
just can't accept that one for personal reasons. But yeah.
No.
Yeah, Frank's hot tub. That's great. Anyways, the Fandom Addicts tier, everybody, gets you everything from the previous tiers, plus a movie commentary every other month. Because let's be real, as much as we would love to offer it every month, we kind of can't, because there'd be we're not saying we're going to get a bunch of people that are subscribing to our highest tier, even though a few you've already upgraded, which is great. Thank you very much. But it'd be really hard to, all of a sudden, we got to do 21 movie commentaries this month. That would be terrible, because it would never get done. So we're going to do a movie commentary every other month. You would have to have to subscribe for 2 months to get that. The Fandom Addicts show, which is still a work in progress, but will debut at the end of July, which is basically an intimate show with all of us talking about whatever the fuck you guys want. Your show, your call, we'll talk about it, and you can even join in. So there is that. Short pre-produced video of your choosing every few months. Choose a topic for our Fandom Empire Live and Fandom Empire Now. And at the 6-month mark, you'll get a Fandom Empire t-shirt and a shot cup. And at the 1-year mark, you will get a Fandom Empire hoodie and hat. Whether you guys end up signing up for this or not, that's completely up to you. But we wanted to at least make an effort to put more of a focus over on Patreon. One, it's a safer place to stream, even though it's technically on YouTube. Like, it's way more intimate. I had somebody, I won't say who it was, but who's fairly new to our Patreon, reach out to me after our show the other night, Kieran. It was you, Matt, and I. And he just said, that was really cool. There was only like 8 or 9 people in the chat. And it was just way more of like a back and forth conversation between all of the chat members and us. And it just played really well.
Yeah. I mean, like, some great stuff happens in our chats. Like, there's been, 4, 5, 6 interesting things that's happened in the chat today, but we can't mention it all and talk about it all, because we got things to talk about. We got other stuff that we've already planned. And, so those shows are a little bit more intimate. We could talk directly to the people in the chat, and basically, at that point, all your chats, like in the Patreon shows, all your chats basically become super chats. Like we talk about all of them. If you mention something in the chat and there's only 8 people there, and your guys are all Patreon supporters, like if you're like, hey Kieran, like what's with that shirt? I'm like, oh, I'll show you my shirt.
Yeah, we don't monetize our Patreon videos. There's not even an option to super chat on those videos. It's you and us, and so that'll be a fun show. But the main thing you're doing that for is you get to either join in on a movie commentary with us, and you still pick the movie, or we do it for you, and that's a big one too. Plus, you work towards the merchandise too. Quickly though, while we're here, before we read Matt's super chat, we know there's been a few of you that have hounded us for probably the better part of a year now about merch. We're not huge. We don't have a massive following. But if we do open a merch store, how many of you guys would actually buy some stuff off the merch store? Like, is it worth us spending, 7 or 8 hours setting up a well-organized merch store if you guys want to buy a hat or a t-shirt, depending on what the designs are? And we have some cool ideas. Let us know if you want a Fandom Empire merch store, a Rick and Morty fan show merch store, or stuff in it, whatever, or Wastelands. Oh, Johnny, the things we could do with Wastelands on the name with it. Oh, one moment.
Or like, is it one specific item you're looking for, like a shirt with the Fandom Empire logo on, and you're not going to give a shit about anything else?
Well, yeah, there'll be designs. I seen the Wham guys today posted. Basically, they just released merch of Michael sticking the Halligan bar up through a firefighter. Sorry, Johnny. I think they showed that in that little miniature thing, though. Anyway, but anyway,
how dare you?
It's all like oranged out, right? So you don't get to see any of the details, but you know what it is, and then it has their logo. We can do stuff like that. So next $10 super chat, all these awesome dudes take off their shirts. That's gonna have to be more than 10.
No,
it's gonna have to be a lot more than 10.
Nope.
Matt Whitfield, love the new Patreon levels. Check them out, everybody. Might end up getting a fantasy hosts to do a half naked calendar. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know how that would go over with some people, but I think I said some people.
Some people, it doesn't matter. Nope.
I could see Kieran doing this. Fandom Empire action figures. Oh, man.
Oh, I thought you meant the calendar. I did the calendar too.
Oh no, I meant the action figures.
We just struck
I'm now picturing.
We're gonna be having action figures. Yeah.
I'm now picturing our fans reenacting the Spaceballs sequence where Dark Helmet, plays with the action figures of the movie characters in the movie.
Oh man, I love that. That's a fucking amazing movie. Let's watch along that movie.
I'm so down for that.
So yeah, would you guys want a merch store? At the end of the day, when you set up a merch store like that, we get next to nothing from it, but I think it's like 10% or some shit like that. But do you guys want a merch store? We can do some stuff. I know there's at least a half dozen of you that have been asking about it. We'll see if there's any interest from anyone else. Any closing thoughts here before we get into our fantasy matchup, guys? Nothing. How did Johnny get up there?
So we talked about all of these wonderful opportunities through Patreon. We talked about the possibility of a merch store. But what are you giving away for free, Sean?
We're giving away a few things for free, but the only way that's going to happen is if you head on over to at Twitter. Yeah, that's probably the thing. Is Twitter at Twitter? It probably is, isn't it?
No, twitter.com/Fandom Empire now.
I don't think that was the point he was trying to make.
No, it wasn't at all.
What are you trying to make? At Fandom Empire now.
I think you make higher than me.
Fandom Empire now.
At Fandom Empire now.
At Twitter is at Twitter. Yes.
Thank you.
Twitter is at Twitter.
You.
Yep.
It's all the way over Tommy's head. We're going to doing a couple of giveaways this month. What it'll be is it'll be movies, and we'll make sure that they're available on Amazon. Like we figured out the last time we did this, that instead of us purchasing a movie and then shipping it to you and you get it in fucking 6 weeks or however long it takes, it makes sense to exchange PayPal info and us to send you the money and then you to send us the proof. You would send us the proof first that you've bought it, and then we would send you the money and reimburse you for it, and you get your free digital movie. So basically, it'll be a digital movie of your choosing that we're not giving away tonight. We're giving away on Thursday, but it's going to be between all the people that follow us on Twitter at Fandom Empire now. So go over there and give us a follow. Now that we're done with the 8.5 minutes of shameless plugs.
That would make for a very awkward live video where we're recording it and it's one of our personal Twitter accounts winning the draw. That would make for an awkward moment.
It would be. It would be indeed. Let's get into it, guys. Who wins the fantasy matchup? It's not Michael versus Jason. It's not Michael versus Freddy. It's not Michael versus Leatherface. It's Michael Myers versus the Punisher, which I'm going to be honest, I think that's a more interesting and more entertaining fight than the previous ones I just mentioned. Let's start off with Kieran because I feel like he's had some time to think about this and might have a story to tell.
Yeah.
He's like, shit.
So here's the thing. The Punisher is a human who has guns and military training and explosives and, all that sort of shit. And Michael Myers is an unstoppable killing machine. Like, we know this. So when you think of it, when you think of it right ahead, you're like, okay, so, eventually Michael has to get through and kill the Punisher. Like, eventually he has to get there and kill him. But the Punisher has taken out all of the Avengers before. The Punisher has done a lot of crazy things that you wouldn't know unless you've read comic books and all these things. The Punisher is a tactical genius. So, as much as I think that Michael is smart, very smart, as much as I think that Michael is unstoppable as a, melee fighting character, you could probably, we've seen that he can, take a mob of people, shooting them with shotguns and all sorts of shit. The Punisher is going to win. The Punisher is going to win this matchup. He's going to end up, he may not be able to kill Michael, but he could fucking put him in a safe somewhere, launch him into space. He could do all sorts of crazy shit. Like, he is someone who is smart enough to find a way to beat Michael, not kill Michael, but he's going to find a way to beat him. Now, if you're talking about just the John Bernthal version or just the Thomas Jane version, that's just a human.
No, because then you'd have to talk about
it's a little bit different.
Michael, it's just the Punisher versus the Shape,
Yeah, no. If you're thinking about the Punisher with all the Punisher's rich history of being able to, like I said, defeat the Avengers, and defeating Iron Man, or Captain America and defeating Michael Myers is like a big difference. I don't see that as being comparable. So the Punisher takes it for me.
Johnny?
Yeah, I'm right there with Kieran. Punisher wins. Like, there's, Kieran, Punisher's killed all the Avengers. The Punisher has literally killed the Marvel Universe. And by that, I mean every character in the Marvel Universe. And then himself. In one issue. Like, it literally, killing people is what the Punisher does. He can kill supernatural beings. He's killed, a whole host of them. He's fought against, the Dormammus of the world, and he's fought against Ghost Rider villains who are all, demonic and hellish, and Michael is a chump compared to a lot of the things that the Punisher has killed in the Marvel Universe. So yeah, Punisher hands down, because he's literally just a killing machine.
Tommy B.
I mean, I would like to say that Michael Myers is immortal. You can't blow up what you can't kill. But I gotta say, y'all have made a pretty damn good argument. I don't think I can refute it.
So you're going Punisher.
Yeah, I'll go Punisher. Why the fuck not?
Well, it's not a good night for Michael Myers then, because while I'm not as clean cut as you guys, I'm going with a draw. That's right. I'm pulling the draw card. You know, the pay-per-view fans are going to be pissed. They're going to want their money back. But basically what would happen is I would have it so that, like, and Kieran mentioned it, the Punisher is a tactical genius. So Michael just gets in too close after a long fight and kills the Punisher. Or at least he thinks he's killed him. He's basically left him for dead. The Punisher's about to die. You know, Frank Castle's laying there. And Michael goes to walk away and he trips a cord that, you know, Frank had set up in another room or whatever. And Michael blows up to bits and dies because he's been blown to pieces. There's no, you know, you're not fucking Tetrising yourself back together and stealing the fireman's suit and escaping into another movie. Michael's dead. He's blown up into a bunch of pieces. But then, you know, you see that Frank's still alive, but then he dies, but he lived long enough to see Michael get blown to pieces. And that's how I would end it. I think that'd be cool. And then people would be pissed because they both died. So I wouldn't get a shot to make another one. You guys want to do something breaking, really fun here before we exit Johnny?
Sure.
This is breaking, everybody. Do you guys know the how?
We're changing to a Punisher channel?
Yes. No. So, we talked about off the top of the show how R.I.P. the Halloween Kills poster. You know, Johnny, I don't know what overcame me, dude, at the end of that episode. As you being my co-host, what was it like witnessing that? Because we were like, oh, you're muted, by the way. But we were like, you know, in the middle of our outro.
Oh, I think we were like in the middle of our third take at our outro. I was shocked. Like, you know, I was looking at the chat, you know, seeing off some of the fans who'd been with us all night, and you know, was saying my good nights to, you know, I think Freddie was in there, or maybe it was Frank. I can't remember exactly, but
no, good night, baby.
It was you know, some of our mods and of course some of our viewers and our listeners, and you know, I was, you know, saying goodnight to them, and I looked down and I'm head bobbing and typing, and I look back up and, you know, I see your hands apart and two pieces of paper in each hand, and I couldn't believe you'd done it.
Well,
I could not believe you'd done it.
I know. I was in an uncontrolled state. And it just sort of happened. And that was a hard poster to get. You know, to get the first exclusive Halloween Kills poster, autographed authentically, by the way, by John Carpenter.
Authentication provided by Sean himself. Yes.
That's like 1 in a billion. To those of you that are new to the channel, by the way, I'm really sorry that this is the part you came in on. To those of you that know the channel, enjoy. I was, you know, what were the odds of me getting another one? So I called John up because, you know, him and I are obviously besties. He's obviously one of our sources, and he wouldn't.
Well, I thought you weren't supposed to give him up.
Oh, well, we had a falling out, I guess. I don't know.
He wouldn't send you a new poster.
He would not send me a new Halloween Kills poster. He said, "You know what? I'll do you one better. I'll send you the official, completely authentic." Get ready for it, Dean, Saturn, all you guys. The official, completely authentic Halloween Ends poster. You don't need to ask for the next year and a half or however a year. Where's the poster? Because it's right here. Tommy, over to you first, man. What do you think of it, dude?
This motherfucker.
Johnny,
What the fuck is that? Is that a fucking Band-Aid?
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's clearly
Is that a Band-Aid?
it's clearly a log.
Or is that a
Is
penis?
it? I thought it was a skateboard.
It's Michael skateboards and Halloween ends.
Is that a penis?
Halloween ends. That's right. Wow. I mean, look how just the font. The font is
I
incredible.
think they're cheaping out, man.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, look how close that is to the Halloween Kills poster.
What? There's nothing that makes this close at all.
They literally just scratched out Kills and put ends underneath it, man.
You're exaggerating now.
I mean, yes, of course they added the skateboard log penis. And the ends itself is in a new font, which looks nice.
He was kind enough to provide his completely authentic signature again.
I mean, how nice of him, it's just, but I mean, I don't know, man. Michael's in the same exact pose he was in on the Kills poster. It just, man, they cheaped out on so much, but I mean, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to see that on all of the official channels over the next year.
And to get your own copy of it too, so that there's that too. I'm pretty sure we've annoyed the hell out of Kieran. So,
is this what was on the other side of the Wastelands thing?
Not at all. Not at all.
What are you talking about? What Wastelands thing? Oh, wait a second. Sorry. Here.
Okay.
So look at that puppy. We don't need to have where's the poster talk for the next year. You got oh my
overseas art. International.
That's the variant
poster.
version.
International.
Oh man, I had to do that. Chat. What's left is oh man. Wow. Thought you were going to bed, Jade. Anyways.
It's not too far.
I could listen to that on repeat all fucking day.
It is an amazing theme.
Oh, it's just fantastic. And it's ours.
I was getting ready to say, now that one is purchased, correct? It's not going to just get ripped out from under us like other themes we've used.
This is properly licensed, yes.
It is. In all of its glory.
It's beautiful.
Jade said she was distracted by the masterpiece. I know. Imagine getting to be the proud owner of this. It's such a blessing.
So what is it exactly that Michael's saying? Is it a Band-Aid, a log, a penis, a skateboard, or a snowboard? As someone pointed out in the chat, or is it just all of those things?
He's behind a log. He's behind a log. I mean, I don't see. Where do you see a Band-Aid? I don't see a Band-Aid. I see a very authentic log.
Why is the log on top of Michael's feet?
No, he's behind it.
Right.
Thank you. He's just. Oh wow, Kieran's really going with this. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, it's chat, all Q&A, whatever you guys want to talk about. Kills, 18 ends, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, horror, Leprechaun, whatever you want to talk about. But Dean's opening the bidding for the official ends poster. So let's keep track of this. We got $5. The Dean. Does anybody else have 6? Do I hear 6? 6 going once. 6 going twice. Yeah. So we got. I'm actually gonna look at this. I won't be able to forget. Look at that. Like it doesn't get any more authentic than that. It's right on there. Dean's in at 6.
He's in at 5.
5. I actually have written down a 6. I mean, I really should. He was very kind today, but yeah.
We gotta be authentic in the bidding process for this one of a kind Halloween Ends poster.
Black Widow comes out July the 9th. Exciting stuff.
I did see Black Widow was trending today.
Yeah. You know what I've seen trending a lot? Star Wars. And yet I can't really figure out the reasons why, other than the Slave One nonsense. Halloween re-ends.
The
prequel returns. Oh, geez. What's this? Michael Myers versus the Riddler?
I mean, hey, Bad Batch is still fun, even though you won't watch it.
That's still going?
Yeah, I've kind of fallen off.
I haven't watched an episode since 1.
Fucking for real? Oh my god!
I'll binge it once it's finished, but it's giant
I'm
myth
digging
for
it.
me.
I'm digging the series. Yeah.
You digging it? You taking everything Lucasfilm spoon feeding you? Feeding you. I'm kidding. I'm busting your balls, man.
But no, they've done some cool plot development.
I like how we review like 3 movies Tommy's never seen, and then he's like, "I watched The Bad Batch." We're like, "Fuck you."
Garbage.
Oh. Wow.
That's why we don't review movies you've seen.
Star Wars.
Bad taste.
This is something that should be like straight up main fucking stream for us, and I'm the only fucking one watching it.
Well, it will be, when Kenobi comes out next year and Kieran's favorite Star Wars character ever, Boba Fett, gets his show where basically every other character is going to appear in it.
Yeah. And stuff will happen and things.
That's the TV show formula now. Show about Batman, but here's Superman. Show about Robin. Here's Batman. Show about Lex. Here's Lionel. Show about donuts. Ketchup.
So what do we think about Loki? Have you all kept up with Loki?
I'm an episode behind Loki.
Yeah, I'm
A lot of
behind.
people didn't like episode 3, but I haven't seen it. So
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I also haven't seen episode 2 yet. We're supposed to get caught up back on it tonight, but that did not happen.
So tomorrow is episode 4. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
enjoying it. I'm looking forward to next one. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Look at this masterpiece
fucking
poster.
good.
I was going to say, I need to start getting some super chats in on that poster. Holy fuck. That poster can get with this poster and they can make baby posters and we'll just be in fucking business forever.
I'm a little
Go to the
confused.
market store.
I'm a little confused. What did the Black Knight do to you?
Here's one. Here's one, Johnny. I don't think you want to bow out before this one. Kenny, what do you think the problems are with modern pro wrestling today, whether it's WWE or AEW? I don't think he means that negatively. I think he just means, what do you think the problems are?
Repetition. I think that's the main problem. There's no like we've discussed. Kieran and I are both in a wrestling chat with some local guys here, and we've talked about some of the things that are the problem with. Like I made the joke that the next pay-per-view is just the top superstars of the 2000s versus the top superstars of the 2010s. This is 2021. Make new stars, but they haven't done that. Who was the last new guy to crack the top and stay on top? Roman Reigns. He's been around at this point for 10 years. They're not. When superstars are making their prime in the WWE when they're in their late 30s and early 40s, that's a problem. No other era has been like that. I mean, Brett was the old dog in the mid 90s. He was already in in that same era of his 30s and early 40s. But, you know, every other time the top guys have been in their, you know, their 20s, their late 20s, their early 30s. You know, you need new faces, you need new things, and you need to grow. You know, and they haven't grown, which is what AEW has done. You know, they've made stars. You know, I think the prime example, you know, Sean, you're not an indie guy. You know nothing about the indie circuit. But if I'd have, you know, when they signed with AEW, what was your response to Jungle Boy? You know, that's Luke Perry's son, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, right.
That was the extent of it.
That's how I knew him. I kind of got the opinion, like, because I don't pay attention to indie stuff. It's like, oh, so like, is he just starting wrestling? Is he there because he's Luke Perry's son? But I don't think that was the case at all, right?
No, he's an amazing talent. That, you know, if you watch like the indies, you'd have known who his name before then. I mean, I knew his name before then. The same as like Orange Cassidy. He's a guy I've been a fan of for 10 years. You know, he's been doing this a long time at a high tier for me as a fan, and now people are seeing it on the big stage. I mean, Chuck Taylor is another guy that I've been a fan of since like 2003. You know, 2004. I've been a fan of his. You know, and quite frankly, I think he makes a far better heel than he does a babyface. So inevitably, when he turns heel, it's going to be fun. You know, but there's so many. They're making new stars, and it's not. They're using the old stars to make the new stars. You know, Chris Jericho goes 15 minutes with a Jungle Boy on Dynamite that first winter, that first Christmas, and made a star. When was the last time Roman Reigns, you know, went 15 minutes with some fresh face call up from NXT? It's never happened. You've got to make new stars to make people care about them, and they did that. I mean, you know, how many people knew Kenny Omega in North America when AEW started? You had to be a New Japan fan.
I totally agree with what Johnny said. I mean, the closest that WWE got to approaching this in a smart way and building up young stars was when they did the Survivor Series that had NXT winning a lot of the battles. And it was like, wow, this is awesome. They're going to like NXT is going to come and be its own show and compete with the rest and build stars. And then they just fucking tore all those people down. They just ruined, well, most of them. Rhea Ripley is still, still going right now and stuff like that. But yeah, WWE has just been so terrible at that, and to the point where they just keep losing fans, and their ratings are just like terrible. They're just fucking terrible. I think was it Raw lost to AEW at 1 week?
I think they've lost to them many weeks.
Many weeks now? Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
really?
just like
AEW's been beating Raw?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't
has.
know it come that far.
Like, I mean, especially
and
in the demo as well.
Yeah, and the demo god.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's just, and the reason is we watch AEW. It's a good show. It's easy to follow. The things that happened that last week make sense with what happens this week. If you like a star, if you like a person in AEW, say you like, who's a good example? Scorpio Sky. If you like Scorpio Sky, then, and you said, oh man, he wasn't on Dynamite the last 2 or 3 weeks, you go and watch Dark, and they have a storyline for him. So if you really like him, you can follow his storyline. He's always got something going. Every wrestler has something going all the time, whether it's on Dark or their new show that's coming out or whatever. Like, everything makes sense. Every character is getting some attention. Being the elite, like, every single wrestler has a place they're going. There's no fucking jobbers. Well, there is jobbers, but they're real jobbers. They're not jobbing out real talent that they plan on doing things with. And there's no one just like creative has nothing for you. Like, there's none of that shit going on that ruined WWE. And
it's not 50-50 booking.
Yeah, it's just,
like, that's another thing that is big that the WWE problem has. Is it's all 50-50 booking. You know, I beat you this week, you're going to beat me next week. We main event this pay-per-view and I win. We're going to main event another pay-per-view and you're going to win. You know, like 50-50 booking, nobody wins. Feuds need winners and they need losers. Somebody needs
Yeah.
to come out ahead and somebody needs to come out behind. And you can build the person that comes out behind back up, but you can't if everybody just, if there's a plateau and everybody's here, a star needs to get up here. That's the prime example. Like when wrestling is at its peak, you have your plateau, but there's somebody that breaks that glass ceiling and ends up way up here. Hogan did it in the 80s. Austin did it in the 90s. Rock also did it in the 90s. John Cena did it in the early 2000s. Somebody has to end up here. And the only way to do that is by breaking that glass ceiling down here.
The only way to do that is by beating Lesnar and Goldberg at WrestleMania. Fucking bullshit.
Even that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because the next month the next week on Raw you're losing to The Miz. It's stars don't mean anything anymore. Not even the Goldbergs and the Brock Lesnar's of the world. They don't mean anything because once you finish with them, you're just going back to you feud with a guy that's up here. And once that finishes at 50-50 booking, because that's where it's going to be, you're all of a sudden right back down here feuding with people we don't care about again.
And that's where we see wrestling.
I think that's a patently.
Something's literally breaking right now. So if you guys can just carry this for a second.
I'm looking at the chat here, and Jimmy, I don't know if you can highlight this while you're still looking at what you're doing. Jimmy made a comment there in the chat. Yeah, I think that's patently false. New wrestlers don't lack likability. They are phenomenally talented. And if you don't believe that, you need to watch more indies. Because if all you're watching is the WWE, yeah, you're right. They lack personality and likability because Joe Schmo that knows nothing about the product is writing their promos for them, is writing their scripts for them. You can't. I love professional wrestling. I've been a fan of professional wrestling my entire life. And if you're going to put a mic in somebody's hand, they need to talk. The best characters are when they take their person and just dial that volume up to 11. The Rock got over because that was Dwayne Johnson with the dial turned up to 11. Stone Cold Steve Austin was the dial turned up to 11. Yes, there's going to be characters that get over, the Ultimate Warrior in the early 90s got over because, he was the tassels and the paint, and it was a smoke show. Smoke shows are going to get over every now and again, but they're not going to stay over. But the guys that get over and stay over are the guys that can talk. You need to talk. You need to talk people into the building. The worst thing that ever happened to pro wrestling was taking the names off the marquee. Because once it became, I'm going to go see Hulk Hogan, to I'm going to the WWE show, it stopped mattering as much because the names stopped. It was the guy that drew you into the house. They were the important people. There's nobody to draw you into the house anymore because everybody is written the same. A Drew McIntyre promo sounds like a Bobby Lashley promo, which sounds like a Miz promo, which sounds like every other Joe Blow talking because they are all written by the same people. The fact that if you take a Ric Flair out on television in 2021, he's going to cut a better promo than everybody on the roster because you know what Ric Flair does to a script that gets handed to him? He drops it in the trash and says, "I'm fine, thanks." And then goes out and does whatever Ric Flair does because nobody knows Ric Flair like Ric Flair. Nobody knows Hulk Hogan like Hulk Hogan. Those are the people that can talk. When every person on the roster is written by the same people, everybody sounds the same. That's why NXT is so much better because that's not the case there. There's smaller writing crew and they get the bullet points. They get to create their characters. If you watch the videos of promo class, because they leak every now and again, there's some really good stuff in those promo classes because it is just them saying, okay, you're going to work with this guy. You got 3 minutes. Sell me. Put me in the building. And that's why it's so good. That's why they're so much better. That's why AEW is so much better because they are the people. They are them. Yeah. I've been a fan of these guys. Like I said, I've been a fan of a lot of these guys for a long time. Kieran, if you ever want to point something out, just jump. I know I'm going on and on and on, but
passionate about wrestling. I know.
Exactly. So, I've watched, I used Orange Cassidy as an example. I've been a fan of Orange Cassidy for, at this point, 12 years, 13 years. The character has changed a lot. The person has grown up a lot, but an Orange Cassidy promo in Game Changer Wrestling in 2016 is the same as an Orange Cassidy promo against Chris Jericho in 2021 because he knows the character. He is Orange Cassidy. He's the same person just with the lights turned on.
I like I like Darby Allin. I really love what he's doing.
Darby's amazing.
Not only do I love his character, but his promos, the way they're stylized as these weird black and white skateboard videos, and they all have like, him cutting out the paper faces with the cutting out the eyes and wearing those masks, and like they're just fucking like, it's just mind blowing how WWE creative can't come up with what 20 wrestlers on the AEW show are over. Like, and even like, you got Cody. Cody basically has like set himself aside and been like, okay, you guys do everything. I'll just do some matches and have fun. But when Cody comes back and has a very emotional feud with MJF or whatever, he's going to fucking climb right back up to the top and be like, guys, like, I'm still here. Like, I was just letting some other people have this spotlight. Like, his run with his brother and his whole feud and then tag team with his brother is fucking awesome. There's 20 guys in AEW who are better than anything that's going on in WWE, and it's because they're the characters and they have long-term planning. Like, you can see the collision between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega coming.
Oh yeah.
Like, they've had a couple matches, Page has got a shot and missed it, but like, you can see the collision coming from like a year ago. Like, it's being built up. It's a year-long story. WWE doesn't do a year-long story ever anymore.
The only way they do a year-long story is if somebody gets hurt and leaves for 10 months.
So awesome wrestling talk, guys. Thank you for.
Are we done?
For covering there. If you follow our Twitter closely, we've already just tweeted it out. I know we're not making a big deal about this. I'm trying not to anyways, but I know there's some of you that are just so fucking diehard Halloween. You want to watch anything Halloween. And I guess we didn't create that trailer or promo earlier because there's another one, and we've tweeted it out right here. Go follow us at Fandom Empire now, and be sure to like it and retweet it. It helps us gain traction too. If you see this, retweet it. Help us grow over there. But it's a new one. And I know you're thinking, well, that could have been cut from the trailer. And you see it the first time, and no, it's not cut from the trailer. Michael doesn't walk down the stairs in the trailer. In this one, he does. Again, it's 6-7 seconds long, but it goes to show you we were supposed to get that build up to the trailer Thursday. Everybody be way more excited for this stuff right now. And it wasn't supposed to come out last week, like some people are saying. It was supposed to come out this week. And I think this makes it, like, if there was ever a question before, guys, does this not make it definitively clear that trailer was supposed to come out this week?
Oh, there's no question.
I think it's pretty straightforward. So, wow. The Undertaker is amazing, by the way. I love Taker. What's this?
Where did that come from?
Starring Tony Moran and shirtless Tommy. Wow.
It just keeps growing.
We do owe Toronto Freddy.
Super chat. Yes, I did see his message there. Go ahead, Tommy. You can read it.
Sure. A little bit late getting to this, but we owe Toronto Freddy a shout out for his $5 Canadian super chat. Camp for ends. I like the idea of a more interment Halloween. Do we finally get to see Michael and Lori bump uglies? Want to see Mikey's Halloweeny?
Yeah, we just did. Okay,
so,
dude, I was trying to not fucking just float you out here, but when you show up on the YouTube channel and put this out, it's kind of hard to not put you out there. So maybe you wanted to rethink that, but yeah, I know who it is, and yes, we did see the promo, and you can clearly see Michael walking down the stairs. We've retweeted or we tweeted it out again. I think we might have been before everybody. And it's on Twitter. So at Fandom Empire now. If you don't follow us, and retweet it. Oh, it's Michael walking down the stairs. Some people just obsess over it. Like, look at Solid Saturn. We love you to death, Ben. But even after that I don't know if there was a 4K version of the trailer, but that HD Halloween Kills trailer, you still wanted a clear picture of the mask. So we know people obsess about this stuff, and we put it out there. And my guess, with tomorrow being Wednesday, there's probably going to be one or two more of them. This isn't insider knowledge. I had no idea any of this was happening. Nick was kind enough to provide us with that. Sorry, did we finish answering Toronto Freddy super chat?
I mean, there does exist such a video out there, in the era where everything was getting XXX parodies. That Halloween got one, so it already exists.
I'm pretty sure our boys over at the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast talked about that on the weekend. Frank and Darren. Well,
Talked about a Halloween XXX parody?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It says Halloweenies.
Halloweenies. Look at that.
I'm just gonna draw this whole stream. You guys just keep talking.
Just draw the whole stream. Why the hell not? You gonna
It's
make,
pretty long how he got,
caricatures of us all, Kieran?
Oh God, I'm afraid.
We'll make caricatures of us all. That'd be pretty cool.
There,
He tried that. I ended up looking like Kevin Smith.
We'll be off air in 12 minutes.
You do
time.
look
We're
like
on
Kevin
12 more
Smith.
minutes. Johnny, you might as well stick around for 12 minutes. We won't answer anything spoilery. We're going to be off here 12 minutes, guys. So 12 minutes, questions yours. Let's stay away from spoilers. But guys, is that not like that's the type of promo that you put out when you're building up to a trailer? Is it not?
Yeah.
Nah. No way.
No.
Nah.
I mean, I loaded up. I loaded up the Twitter while we were talking. I loaded up my Twitter machine.
Yep.
And saw the the little 5-second thing there. And I mean, it is very clear that at the very end where it's trailer online now, it was supposed to be trailer and then date.
Yeah.
Like so
Trailer Thursday.
exactly. Like so I mean, it's just it's not at all surprising that they kind of had to pivot once it got out there the way that it did, in the way that it did. That they kind of had to load up their editing software and change that to online now.
Yeah, I can see that. I could. Tommy, what do you think of it, man? You like the way Michael walks downstairs?
Yeah, it's always exciting.
The way that you said that was so salty.
I love when I make Tommy laugh.
Y'all are just picking on me tonight. Like, holy fucking shit.
No, we love you, bro.
That's
By
why
the
you
way-
brought,
by
that's
the
why
way-
you brought that image up twice during that wrestling discussion, huh?
What image?
What image?
What did you just call it?
Wrestling.
I thought you called it by that.
How very southern of you.
Motherfucker. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this fucking shit. Oh my god.
Aren't you a New Jersey boy?
So it actually goes back to my PE teacher and health teacher, driver's ed actually. He was like a well-known wrestler, in the area. He was inducted to State Hall of Fame, all kinds of shit.
I'm gonna need a name.
Huh? You wouldn't know him.
If he was inducted into state
No,
Hall-
state stuff. States.
even still, you'd be surprised.
Hollywood was the last name. I'd have to look up the first name.
If you do, hit me up with it later.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know him. I think he was just, state of New Jersey stuff.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Anyway,
That went down
anyway.
the tube.
the Twitter's blowing up, so that's pretty cool. I got my notifications going off over
Oh,
here.
is it?
Yeah, he just always used to say wrestling, not wrestling. It was never wrestling. It was always wrestling. So that's what always comes to my mind. Me personally, I'm not much of a fan. I used to I watched it when I was younger. It was a cool thing then. I keep saying one of these days I'll get back into it. But
yeah, no,
You're saying wrestling is for kids, man.
yeah, wrestling's for kids. It's all fake shit.
Kieran, I say we get the tables for Tommy too. Tommy and Johnny at the same time.
I ain't going through no tables. Thank you very much.
By the way, someone, you know who you are, by the way. The guy that messaged me and asked if there was going to be a Johnny and Cousins show on our new Patreon stuff. No, there's not. Well, hang on. You might be able to pay Johnny enough for that, but you guys can work that out in private and maybe go to OnlyFans with it. So, yeah. Oh, hang on. That doesn't work. Oh, that worked. Ooh. Head and Shoulders. Doesn't Tommy look like he could be in a Head and Shoulders commercial?
Yo, my fucking neck is feeling really fucked up right now. Like you want to put me in a commercial? Put me in like a chiropractor commercial.
Robaxacet.
Yeah.
All right, here's my Sean. He's got an axe because he's a lumberjack. Remember?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty on point.
I actually kind of fucking like that. Wow.
Yeah.
I dig
Sweet.
that. Don't get rid of that. I'm dead
It's
serious.
the new logo. Yeah.
Lumberjack.
I'll next time I'm in studio, I'll bring it to you.
Nice. Okay. Who's next?
I don't know what we're talking about. I was drawing.
Wait, you only did one of us?
Oh,
Yeah, drama takes time. Can you do better?
No, I thought he said he did all of us and he was starting with me.
No, he
Oh,
said
no,
he was
no,
going
no.
to the first
Sounding
one.
very dirty right now for whoever just joined the stream. He started with me and he's going to make his way to Tommy.
I don't know. I don't think Tommy wants me to draw him.
Oh, dude, you got to draw Tommy. I'll put us all up.
He's
in
a little
studio.
bit. He's testy today. I don't know.
No, Tommy's not testy. Tommy's
I'm gonna draw him with. I'm gonna draw him with that look on his face that he's got right now. Going,
I was gonna say that right there, perfect. Hold, still holding. No, yeah, do Tommy next. Johnny we can save for next time, but like, oh man. Whew. Ripping through everyone.
Ripping hair until it's done.
Our boy Mean Dean. What would we do without you, man? Speaking of which, Dean, let me know in the chat. Am I allowed to say what you did? Can I say that? Is that all right?
Ooh, sounding real dirty.
Oh my God, Tommy. Is that okay?
Can we say what you did, Dean?
Would that be a bad thing for me to do? To tell everybody what you did to me for me? Sorry.
Excuse me? Oh, I think we broke Tommy. I think we broke Tommy.
Oh, shit.
Tommy's going full on Joker here, man.
Fuck, that was pretty fucking good. You worded it great. I'm fucking crying over here.
Tommy's gone full Joker laugh on us, guys. I think we broke him.
Fucking full Joker. Yeah. Oh my God. I can't fucking breathe. I'm fucking crying.
Oh man, I'm almost out of my drink. This is bad, guys.
Do it, Sean. Do it right
Coke
now.
all night, and I basically have none left. That's not good. Crown and Coke and hitting the vape. It's all good. So Dean let me know today. Not only was Dean one of the people to sign up for the $27 Fandom Addicts tier. Thank you for that, Dean. There was a few of you guys that did. Dean was kind enough, and he tried to conspire with Tommy B. You know, outside of the conspiring behind my back, Dean picked me up the Dark Knight Blu-ray collection. The little box that they have, and was kind enough to ship it out here. So that's awesome. Thanks, man. We've had a bunch of people do some smaller things for us, but that was very, very generous of you. Dean Santa Claus. Now everybody go ask him for free stuff. No, I'm kidding. Wow. I don't know if we have any other questions. I have to go back and look because I missed some of that, and we're trying to buy Kieran some time here to finish his drawing. So when we're waiting, Have you been tempted at all to watch it, Johnny?
No.
Okay, here's a real topic.
At what
I
point-
got a real topic real quick. Lately,
Oh, fuck myself. By the way, we're getting. We are getting. I guess I'll go. I get. What is it, Tommy? Help me.
I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
T-shirts, Fandom Empire style, that you guys will be able to pick up, or for the people that are on the real high Patreon levels, you'll end up getting yours when you hit the marks. So, be on the lookout for that.
Recently, the rumors have been floating around again. Disney, the House of Mouse, they're distancing themselves from Kathleen Kennedy, and Jon Favreau is going to be sitting in her seat. Months, maybe a year. I don't know. I haven't checked those timelines. I don't follow that stuff super close because it's been going around forever. But the rumors have been, they've been circulating again. They've been a little more widespread. I've been seeing them. You got any thoughts on them?
My thought would be they already promoted Dave Filoni to such a high position that literally his position has him involved in any Star Wars TV series or animated series, like creatively. The ideas, instead of
I'm sorry, did I say Dave Filoni?
No, you said Jon Favreau.
Because I did mean to say Jon Favreau. Okay.
They already promoted Filoni to basically the head of content creator. That's not his position title at all, but basically you're not getting a Star Wars story to screen without Filoni signing off on it anymore. And there might be the one or two exceptions here or there, but I don't really see the need to now do something with Favreau with that. Let Kathleen Kennedy just do her role and produce the films. She's a producer. She's not a creator, she's been sort of out of place. So I do think it's a positive move. I don't think you'll see Favreau happen too, but maybe. Why is Kieran laughing?
He's done.
Because he's Kieran.
Oh, he's done?
All right, guys.
All righty.
Tommy B.
Hang on. Oh.
What the fuck did they fucking do?
WWE champion. Yeah. All right. Shirtless Tommy. Shirtless Tommy. Shirtless Tommy. Woo!
My wife is probably, what the fuck is going on this fucking stream? I'm legit running this stream on speakers. She just said she knows better than to listen.
This is the shirtless Tommy that you get for the Patreon stream.
Oh man, this is
I'm curious to know which episode of Rick and Morty Tommy's going to be appearing in, because
obviously the one where shirtless Tommy wins the WWE Championship.
We got to get him like fully tatted.
I mean, do you really think that Tommy looks that much like what was his the Vindicators?
I'm just gonna let you drown.
I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea.
You're gonna make me look this up, aren't you?
Yo, I got no fucking muscle mass on me, so good luck with that.
Oh, you're killing me.
This is, guys, for the $75 Patreon tier, you can get shirtless Tommy.
Autographed authentically by Tommy too.
Oh yeah, sure. I just happened to fly across into the realm of the Maple Leaf to sign it. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a long one, guys, but I think that is going to do it for us tonight. And just because it's been that sort of night, we will actually never mind. Nothing. My thought is blank.
Okay.
Love Tommy B. Wow. Tommy, where can everybody find you at, bro?
Apparently on Kieran's desk. What is this motherfucker doing? Flashing this image back and forth on this oh, shit. Nah, you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650. Facebook, check out Fandom Empire, Den, Future of Halloween, Future of Star Wars, and all the other miscellaneous groups and or pages that we happen to have a hand in. Yippee yippee.
And winning the WWE Championship!
Johnny, where can everybody find you at, man? What's going on with you two?
You can. I don't know. I'm not in the band.
Yeah. Nice.
You can find me here, there, and everywhere. Bros Before Pros, Gaming, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all those places. And the Inside Handoff. If you are a football fan, we are up to 200 and something followers on Twitter. Be one of them.
Kieran, how about you, man? What's next for you?
I don't know.
All right, well, I'll tell the audience what's next for you then. You can catch Kieran Sunday night around 11:35 p.m. Eastern time, reviewing the newest episode of the Rick and Morty show. I guess it's just called Rick and Morty, not the Rick and Morty show. But yeah, you can catch him at around 11:35 reviewing season 5, episode 3. Stop bitching, enjoy what you get. I've never bitched about anything ever. How dare you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god, that's awesome. I dig that. I'm taking that for sure. But yeah, no, check him out there. Thursday we have Fandom Empire live, and then afterwards Mike and I are going to record Fandom Empire now. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Can't wait to take a deep dive into all of that. But that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen, as we exit to a dance party.